Thank you. Okay, this actually is a question for all of the panelists. If anybody wants to respond, just kind of jump in here. This one comes from Jillian. Going back to selling at farmers markets, she's wondering how you feel. Do you think organic certification is worth the effort when you're able to talk to your customers face to face and explain your management techniques? Do you feel that organic certification on top of that would be an asset?
This is Lisa. I guess I can kind of go first. We do have some vendors who pay for the certification, but I guess speaking from a personal level, I've also seen farmers who come out there, and as long as you have that relationship with your customer and can tell them your processes, to me that's as important as anything else. So we used to have a vendor who on her banner said, you know, all our bugs are squashed by hand. And just letting people know what your practices are, I think is really important. So.
Lisa,
Good.
can I ask you a real quick question?
Sure.
This is Mary, and I'm curious, do you see a price differentiation between your organic growers at the market and your non-organic on produce, say?
Yeah, there is. In fact, 2 years ago, we had an intern do a study that took organic versus just your standard produce at the market as well as grocery stores. And ironically, the organic produce at the market was cheaper than at grocery stores, but the standard produce that wasn't certified organic was more expensive. So it's a real interesting thing. I'm not really sure why that is, but I would say at the market, every producer's different as far as what they price it at. So.
Well, and I think that's yeah. Go ahead.
But again, we sort of like live and work in a vacuum here, but from my perspective, it's a really great way to market yourself, and you may not be doing anything differently except for getting that certification. You may be doing everything right, but so much of the population identifies with that tag on your product that you're able to market yourself in a better way, and we will pay more for a certified organic product because we know you've jumped through the hoops, you've paid that money to do that, and so it deserves a premium. And the reality is we can charge more for it because it is certified organic.
And this is Lisa again. I think that you just have to look at where you're selling your product. So when you're selling your product to the co-op, you're not there to say you squish your own bugs. You're really having to trust what that label says, and so that gives what you're selling to the co-op a lot of trust behind your product, whereas if you are direct marketing and can tell the customer how you do it, it's a different thing. So I think it depends on where you want to sell your product.
I absolutely agree with that.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, well that's it for questions so far.
Melissa?
Mary?
Okay, and we do want to let participants know. Can you hear me okay, Melissa?
Yes.
You should be
Can you
able
hear
to
me?
now. Okay, great. Yeah, I had myself muted. So, for once. Thanks I want to just say to the panelists, these are really great and incredibly good insights that you're offering tonight. And I'm going to, before we go to the last set of questions that I have, real quick, Ed, if you can, would you talk a little bit about, you've decided not to be certified organic, and I think maybe it'd be important for people to know how much acreage, by the way, that you're grazing, because I don't think we've said that. Because I think that has a little to do with part of your reason.
All right. We have a real noxious weed infestation out here. We run on 11,000 acres, and some of it's public land, but we have the main weed we have is hoary crest. It's white top. And I hate to even talk about this, but anyway, that's the only reason that I'm not certified organic with the beef. I could be grass-fed organic if it wasn't for the white top. If I didn't spray those weeds within 5 years, we would have 11,000 acres of white out here. My ranch would be basically worthless. So what I do is I try to every year spray behind the cows, or 2 or 3 months ahead of the cows. When I come out of a field, my cows don't go back in that field for a year. So I try to spray the white top after the cows are gone, or at least 6 months ahead of the cows. And that's the reason I'm not certified organic. If I was certified organic, my meat would be double in price, would be worth that much more. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could. I wish I could get off this, but I can't. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to get them eradicated, to get rid of it, but a lot of it's on the BLM to take care of. I got 5 miles of highway right-of-way runs, US 95 runs right through the ranch, and getting the state to take care of their weeds, the BLM to take care of their weeds is a tough deal. So that's why I'm not certified organic.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, I want to start to wrap things up a little bit, and I had asked each of our panelists to try to offer some insight where they see it about some possibilities and opportunities for our participants. What are the gaps in the food systems right now, or in the local food sheds, and where might the opportunities be? And Lisa, can I start with you?
Yep, absolutely. So I would say the few things that we really encourage people to do, as we all know, living in Idaho, and this goes for southern, northern, anywhere in Idaho, our growing season is not super long. So anything that you can do to increase that fall and winter produce, to me, is a niche area that not a lot of people are doing right now. That would be number one. I think number two would be any type of value-added products. So you know, Mary, you're a great example with duck eggs, but you do the beignets. So taking what you do, and whether it's making jellies or pickles or okra, pickled okra, trying to change up just that traditional piece of produce. So trying to do a value-added product. And I think the other thing, too, is when you're trying to maybe expand your market, is to see what markets are in your region. So kind of like Ed saying he helped those people in Kuski and Kamiah. Those are two smaller markets, but, you know, extending your exposure, I guess. So trying to do as many markets as you can, or if you're really trying to get out there, maybe it's a few smaller markets or one large market and a couple smaller ones. But I guess kind of in a nutshell, because I know we're time crunched, those would be my big three.
Those are awesome. Really good. Can you talk a little bit about, you mentioned okra, and that was a really exciting new vendor that came into the Capital City Public Market last year.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the big things is to, if you're thinking about going to a market, is go to that market that you're thinking about going to and see what you could do differently. You know, everybody says a tomato is a tomato is a tomato, but there's tons of varieties and all different things you can do. Jason started, we really did not have more than a couple vendors selling okra. It's kind of a different crop. Not everybody has it. He went crazy with okra, planted a ton of okra. He pickled it, he fried it on site, and people loved it. He sold out every week, and I think it's just finding that thing that's different. That not everybody else is doing. So to really look at the market you're trying to get into. That was a great new product we had this year.
That was, and I think, you know, we talk a lot, Lisa, and all the panelists, about diversifying and being, you know, being careful not to put everything in one place. Ed alluded to this. You know, you have a retail market, and then the guy gets into trouble and he's gone, and now you don't have a place to push your meat anymore. But some people, I think, are doing not, you know, kind of going in the opposite direction, and they're really focusing. And by focusing, they're, you know, cutting a lot of production costs. They're becoming really known for doing one thing really well. And I think in Jason's case, that was exciting to me, just the whole marketing approach he took to what he did. So, so I want to, you know, I don't want to negate everything that we've talked about with diversifying. On the other hand, though, I do want to say that, you know, you can, if you see an opportunity like Jason did, go for it.
I think too, Mary.
And I want to go to Guy because, oh yeah, go ahead, Lisa. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just really quick. I think
Go
that
ahead.
it's taking that one product, and you know, he diversified the one product. So it's not that he was just coming to sell fresh okra.
Right.
So there's always that diversifying in whatever product you're selling.
Perfect. Yeah.